Oh, look, there's my thumb. In the corner of the screen.
Oh my.
Oh no. Ta-da! That's all blue. And are you using Just Bite Me in that?
Yes.
I think I see
Just Bite Me is the next color
Oh,
that
cool.
I have to. Well, it'll
But
be my
fingering
color
weight, right?
No, I want to say
Is that
that's
DK? Sorry, I got distracted by one of Liz's projects. Hi.
it's DK.
Oh, from a distance, it looked like fingering weight. And for all the yarn nerds out there, that made sense. Okay. Hi, and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
It is always a little bit, I have to kind of get in gear on what is our Monday, which is a Tuesday.
It is Monday.
Yes, it is what we consider Monday. Although yesterday didn't feel like too much of a day off. That's okay. We've had a busy weekend. Not here. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in rainy and dreary, and this is Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
Yes, I'm getting distracted by fragile handle with care right over my head. This side, I feel like it should be pointing at me. Fragile handle with care. No, I'm not that fragile. I'm gonna. Liz was working on the racks and rearranging stuff, and those of you who watch us like on a regular basis can examine our background and try to decipher what's different and tell us. Anyway, you already said who you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yes.
I'm tired. Can you tell? Oh wait, I was gonna put on. Okay, I'm gonna put on a shawl because it's in front of me because I'm not moving. All right, checking. Not that it matters with this one, front side from back side, because once it's around your neck, you really don't see the detail. But there is a front side and back side to this one. This is the Lightweight Hipster by Locatelli. And it is in one of my favorite colors of Daydream Dye Works, Pocket Watch. And it would look absolutely stunning in a solid or a tonal as well, because there's a lace section between the drop stitch crisscross section that doesn't really show up in a super variegated yarn like this, and would show up more in, it's like right in here.
Yeah.
You would see that pattern work more in a solid or tonal, but excuse me. But it still looks pretty. And once you get it piled around your neck, there's only so much of the pattern work that you see. So that's why if you want to make one skein shawls out of like a single really cool multicolor yarn and just do garter or stockinette, find a pattern that's super simple, then you just get to show off great hand dyed yarn.
Yeah.
My words might catch up to me. See, here's what I think is going on for me today. Here's my theory. Today I drank yesterday's coffee because yesterday I had to come into town and I got my coffee ready to go, all heated up in a travel mug, and left it sitting on the dryer. So it's not so much that I drank yesterday's coffee. Like, it didn't go bad. When I came home, I put it in the fridge and it was fine. It's that
a day behind.
I'm off my rhythm. Yeah. I didn't have caffeine yesterday. Well, I had caffeine. I didn't have my coffee because when I got home for lunch, I was like, I could drink my coffee. And then I went, no, this is not the proper time for coffee for me. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who can drink coffee all day long. Once it's like it has hit the afternoon, I'm just like, nope, it is time for soda. Caffeinated soda. Not a thing. No. Oh, I'd be so much healthier if I had a time in my life, and it might have been right when the shop opened, where I kind of cut soda out of my life. I've done that a couple times. I've cut soda out of my life when I was really training hard and doing Tough Mudders and all those other things. I was drinking a lot of kombucha. Like, I like fizzy, right? I was replacing the fizzy of the soda with like flavored seltzer water and kombucha and other things. And it was like, da, da, da. And then I broke my leg in my second Tough Mudder. And I needed a steady, like, basically IV of caffeine to make it through the day while I was on crutches. And so I put my backpack on to teach, and soda, like Pepsi's, like plastic container that you could cap and take the cap off, fit in the outside pocket of my backpack. And anywhere I went, I could swig like caffeine and keep going. And so then I was back on soda.
You tried a couple of times. We have the buble bounce.
I do have the buble bounce, but that just doesn't agree with me, kind of. It's like
it's
it works and it
caffeinated
doesn't.
bubbly water.
Yeah. And Michael Bublé did the ads when it first came out. But I think I need the sugar with the caffeine. And the Buble Bounce, the flavored seltzer water with caffeine. Yay, it's got the caffeine, but the caffeine means I'm not really hydrating when I drink it. And the reason I was drinking the seltzer water was to hydrate. And it was feeling counterproductive. It was like there was a battle going on within my digestive system with it. So I haven't really been guzzling that stuff lately, but excuse me. Yeah, anyway, so that's my caffeine story. Like, I remember when I first opened the shop,
Yeah,
I was drinking some kombucha. I was trying to be quasi healthy. I don't think I had taken soda completely out of my diet, but
it wasn't as much. And then
it
we
wasn't
were
as
drinking
much.
the real sugar stuff, and
yes, then we
that
were
was
on a
probably
real sugar
better
kick.
for us than the other, but
Now we're just on whatever's available. It's a pandemic. And I realized on the drive in here, I'm glad I didn't have that second soda on Saturday, because I think that's the only soda in the fridge right now for lunch. Yeah, because I forgot to pack up sodas for today.
You could
we
always
can
drink a
rectify
Coke.
that. I know, but then I'm stealing. She already like feeds me lunch here, and it kind of comes out of her paycheck. And so when I have to steal Cokes she brought in from home too, I feel doubly bad.
Don't feel bad.
Give me any reason to feel bad and I will. So okay, is that enough vamping about the non-knitting stuff that I said I'd never do, and now we do all the time?
All the time.
Yeah, sorry about that. No one seems to be really complaining though. So, not that I'm gonna do it more, but I'm gonna do it naturally, spontaneously happens, which is what just happened. Anyway. So we our weekend, I mean, Tuesday is usually our weekend update, progress and such. Wait, that's your new dress. I just realized she's wearing her new dress. Oh, she showed me the fabric. Did you show the fabric to Knit Night and stuff? Was that like, oh, it's so cute.
Isn't it cute?
It's so cute. Okay, so Liz made a dress.
Took me all day yesterday. I used to make them so much faster. It took me all day.
Yes,
yesterday.
but we are overly exhausted, and it's a pandemic, and we had knit afternoon. Were you working on it during the virtual sit and stitch on Sunday?
No.
See,
no.
For 4 hours on Sunday, we were on Facebook Live and Zoom hanging out with knitters and crocheters and just people who wanted to drop by, which is fantastic. And that takes up a good chunk of the weekend, because we work here Saturday
from 1 to 5 all afternoon Sunday.
All afternoon. And we do that once a month, by the way. And the next one is going to be on October 17th. It's the middle of the month, but it is actually 4 weeks from yesterday. And the reason it's not going to be closer to the end of the month is the weekend after that is the Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair here. And if you want to brave that and come visit, go for it. I don't know if we're going this year because but people in close quarters, yes, hopefully they'll be wearing masks, but we know there's a good chunk of the population around here and probably everywhere else that wants to throw caution to the wind and not wear masks. So, you have to decide what you're comfortable with. But that's the following weekend, which means we'll probably be busy with overflow traffic from SAF. And if anyone is in town for SAF, please come by and say hi and bring your mask. And if the weather's nice, we'll sit outside for a little bit. And the weekend after that is Halloween. And Halloween is always hit or miss and weirdness. And some people may want to go do things on Halloween and not go online and sit and stitch with us. So anyway, so back to your dress. Like, the fabric is super cool because it is designed to look like a bunch of things were sewn together, right?
Yeah.
it's like from a distance, it looks like she like patched together all this cool fabric and sewed it, and that's awesome. But it's all color coordinated. Yeah, she not just flash, y'all. She wears layers underneath this.
Sorry.
Show the fabric off again, because people were probably distracted by me being silly.
It's
isn't
all
that
blues
cute?
and greens, and Bethany, my gal at the fabric store, is the whole series of fabric is called Sweater Weather, and she was like, we like it because it's reminiscent of 1990s, you know, and like once you see it, it kind of does.
Yeah, you know. But I like that, like there's different stitching.
Yeah,
it's all plaids, it's all different plaids, and then the fake stitching, but what makes it look like the plaids are attached to each other are all different types of stitches. Like there's zigzag, and there's little flower things, and different flower patterns, and different color thread connecting them. Like that's really cool.
It looks like it was hand top stitched.
So from a distance, it looks like she did a butt ton more work than she did, which is kind of like self-patterning. It's like self-patterning yarn, you know? And anyway, to pull this back to yarn, I mean, all crafting is wonderful. It's like our yarn, like I happen to have a hat here because that someone was looking at this for a class or something. This looks like I did stripies and patterning, and I didn't. The yarn did that. I just made the hat. So, you know, it's adjacent. It's look, it's the same color, kind of, you know. And then you're working on a papillon right now.
I'm working on a papillon. On Sunday afternoon, I did one round of crochet on my Milky Way, and I did not bring it because I forgot. And
that's not a thing.
It was the single crochet round, so it really doesn't look like I did anything. And
that's like my crochet along, which I'll show later. It's hard to notice progress because the stitch, there's a crap ton of stitches involved, but it's so spread out. It's like you made progress on this. What?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then I pulled out papillons and started working on.
She's so good. She's working on Christmas papillons, and I should start Christmas presents soon too. I don't even know what I'm making for people for Christmas. I'm still not sure what's going to happen in terms of going to see people for Christmas. I'd like to, but yeah, making things for people for Christmas, I haven't started yet. That's not good.
Well, my sister's papillon is the one that's furthest from being, like, all of the other,
and that's not your sister's, is it?
Is.
Oh, it is. Sorry.
Oh, the other three are all done with section 19.
So you're trying to catch this one up to
and
that?
I'm trying to catch this one up because I had to wind yarn.
Winding yarn is sad and hard.
So hard.
I mean, it's a necessity, and some people love handballing at home. Like, that's soothing for them. And so sometimes when we ask people, can we wind this for you? Because we offer, they'll go, no, I like to do that myself. And we go, oh, bless you.
And I do like to wind yarn at home, my handballs and stuff. But in the evenings when I get home from work, it's like, I should wind yarn before I go to, and
she's already passed out.
And
it's tiring.
There's so much going on at the shop. I'm like, I could take the yarn in and just knock it out at the shop, and then I forget to put it in my bag, or like life catches up. So anyway, so now
I completely understand.
Working on
trying. Speaking of that, and you know, the shop being tiring and running home and things like that, we'll mention this at the end too, but tonight we're starting a new schedule for Sit and Stitch. It's still Tuesdays and Fridays, but we are experimenting with, and probably sticking with, 7 to 9 p.m. instead of 6 to 9 p.m. We love that people came and hung out with us for 4 hours on Sunday, but then having 3 hours after a full work day twice a week. Sit and Stitch for us is both rewarding and exhausting, because we love hanging out with y'all, but it's still kind of part of work. So it makes our Tuesdays and Fridays pretty long. So On the advice of my therapist, we are trying 2-hour sit and stitch instead of 3-hour. And I'm thinking to maximize for different time zones, because we have people who join us from all different time zones, especially in the continental US. The going to different countries and beyond the continental US and Canada right above it. Those people tend to join us on the Sunday ones because the time difference. And although it means that people like shout out to Donna in Alaska, they're joining us bright and early. And then people like Jan in the UK, who
It's her dinner time.
yes, and she realized she was off schedule. She was all planning to come and then realized it happened like 2 days ago. So she just texted me or messaged me, and I get it. If I didn't have reminders on my phone blaring at me all the time, I would miss a lot of things.
Well, and
So
our schedule,
other things were happening in her life
not our
too,
schedule,
Mhm.
but the way life is happening at the shop right now, it's encroaching
yeah. So
later and later.
yeah, and so it's hard to get home, but we're hoping that the 7 to 9 p.m.
Works
people
well
on the
for-
West Coast,
yeah.
Or and in between will still have an overlap of an appropriate time to join us. Like I think if we went from 6 to 8, we'd have people who usually join us later who would be like, because maybe they're not off work yet. There's other things going on. So and 7 to 9 gives us time to get home, especially if we've gotten stuck at the store a little later. Maybe even make dinner tonight. I get to heat up leftovers because I cooked last night, but but it gives us a time to take a breather, because the whole idea of 6 to 9, where it came from, is the shop pre-pandemic, before the world fell apart, the shop was usually open until 6, and then we would just keep it open longer. We would just stretch it out for a little bit longer on those 2 knit nights and just keep it going, right?
That,
you know,
and it worked well because we
Mhm.
were already here,
We're
and
already
people
here.
here, and
Yeah,
it flowed really easily.
and we ate while it was happening, and
Yeah.
we still do that at home kind of, but but yeah, now that we're still trying to keep it going, but we have to go home to do it. Like we don't have to, but if we stay here, people will notice us here and think that we're open for business. And we've talked about that a lot, trying to have like this, trying to have a sit and stitch, like trying to do it here on a Sunday, like those once a month when we're not open as a shop, because people would want to be coming in and shopping. And so long story long.
And the 6 to 9 worked well in the beginning of the pandemic, even up to a few months ago, because we could close up the shop, be like
not as many
walking out the
people
door at 5 instead of
not as many people were shopping in person with us. We had a lot of people shopping online or making appointments, and we could control when the appointments ended. And so there's a few more things out of our control, and sit and stitch is within our control. And we still want to, because like it's both stressful but stress relieving. We still want to bond with our community, and we still want to offer you time to connect to others. And I still struggle with the whole, we have parts of our community we haven't seen since the pandemic started because they're not into the tech stuff. And that community we haven't seen. And I think they're hoping and waiting for in-person sit and stitch to come back, and we still don't feel that safe yet. So long periods of time,
Well, it's getting to be winter or fall, and when it gets chilly out on the patio in the evening, people want to come in because it's warmer inside, and we feel
we're
less
definitely
comfortable with that.
not doing that inside, even with masks. It's a long period of time, because a lot of masks don't have the tightest seal, and if they do, then people feel like it's not everyone's comfortable with that. And we have filters going and all kinds of fun stuff, but we're still waiting for things to be a little safer.
It's a whole lot longer than we prefer people to be inside.
Yeah, we're not setting timers anymore when people are shopping, but we're also not encouraging people to come sit and hang out all day, because like a lot of local yarn shops are not doing that either. They're not doing sit and stitch anymore. If they were doing it in person, there's just waiting for things to calm down. And some people might say, well, things are never going to calm down and we just need to live our lives. And our version of living our lives safely is not there yet. So, we're still going to watch out for everyone's safety. So anyway, moving on. I'm going to probably come back at the end of this and say, reminder about Sit and Stitch, that it's only 2 hours, but we've done our long, like, here's why and all that good stuff. So please join us though. It'll be fun.
So what did you do this week?
Yeah, I have a lot of things, a lot of things with maybe a little bit of progress. It's closest to me, and you were just talking about crochet. So I'm going to dig out my crochet along my Charlotte. This is the sleeping bag project, I like to call it, because I feel like I'm shoving it in a sleeping bag container.
Bigger and bigger.
Wait, why is okay?
Bigger.
I thought there was a piece of yarn going through that hole, and I was like, how did that happen? It was a tail. It is getting bigger. I did catch up. I am on section 10, but just like the very first row, I want to say, of section 10, because this week is section 10. So I'm on the right section, but I'm way behind in terms of staying with it. And I showed this off on morning meditation a couple days ago, and someone was like, yep, I'm at that point on my second one. And I was like, what? So I don't know if they're making 2 at a time or if they were one of the testers and now they're making another one with everyone. I was like, that's impressive.
Well, they could also be making well, if they're making, have all the clues been released?
No.
Okay, so they could be doing
2 at a time.
2 at a time, or they just have more time than you do to sit and crochet because you own a yarn shop.
I own a
Why
yarn shop.
don't you sit and crochet all day?
I am on the 5th ball of this. And according to my calculations, I'm hoping it's only going to take me 6, but I don't know. Like, we have 7 of them in the shop, and someone, because I hadn't changed inventory to account for this, someone tried to buy this color this weekend and there wasn't enough here for them because I haven't kept up with my inventory. And I apologize. We had a lot of flubs this weekend, but hopefully the 7 that's here, of which only 1 is on the shelves anymore, is enough, because it's back ordered. So I mean, I probably will just you can totally fudge it. You don't have to be doing colors A, B, and C super specifically, but I'm trying to follow the pattern as
she feels the desperate need to follow the pattern.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is the first round of section 10 is this little, like, it's a back post double crochet along the edge here. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the
Detangle the yarn.
Yeah,
because the yarn is over here now.
Yeah.
I am
Holy
this
crap,
far.
this is huge.
I'm this far around this edge, and the row before this was double crocheting till my brains fell out, and this row is back post double crocheting till my brains fall out. And so this is, yeah, especially when we hold it and let it stretch, this is kind of huge. Look at this. Don't stretch too
Kind
much.
of really.
It just looks narrower down there because we're holding it up here. This section 10, I get to put roses in, which is gonna be so pretty. I can't wait I have to get through a couple more rows before I put the leaves in. So it was not morning meditation this morning because I want the leaves of the roses to be morning meditation.
Somebody asked on Knit Night what size this was. Back of the couch, twin bed, full bed.
This is at least back of the couch.
It's a back of the couch, but it would make a gorgeous middle of a full bed.
Yeah, it's gonna be square. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be like wider, like king size, or something like that. But yeah, it's gonna keep going. And the rows are long but short in terms of adding height. But yeah, I 5th skein of the gray. Can you tell? There's more gray in this. I'm on the 2nd skein of the rose, whatever color we're going to call this. And there's actually, I've probably eaten up about half of that. If you look, there's a hole in the center. So the blue, really haven't done a lot. The blue is going to be the leaves of the roses, and then the pink's going to be the roses. So not that it has to go that way, but following the pattern, that's going to happen. So Oh, and then I'm just gonna really quickly show you that. I don't know if you can see all the ends I have to weave in the back. Nope, doesn't really show on camera.
They kind of blend in.
There's a lot of ends to weave
I
in.
was thinking about that.
What?
You could needle felt them in.
To me, that sounds like it's gonna take just as much time as weaving them in. But interesting idea. This is the kind of material I can spit join this when it breaks. So that makes sense that I could needle felt it in. Stab, 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 you know. So so that I spent some time on that. The majority, let's see, I'm gonna pull these out as I can. I started a new project. I realized this weekend I had a sample skein of this.
You did.
I could have made this, I could have started a project with my sample skein and leave more for sale, but I've already started this. So that's not going to happen. And my sample skein looks like this right now. Doesn't look as pretty. It looks a little squishy squashy. So I'm not going to like swap them out and sell that one. Also, it's not the same dye lot as anything else in the shop. So I wouldn't do that. But I have a sample skein. Maybe that could be like a giveaway sometime if we do an event or something. I don't know. Speaking of events, we are at 590 subscribers right now, which is awesome, which means we're only 10 away from giving you all a sale. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing because you could help yourself and everybody else get a sale. Now, there's a really good chance we'll have an anniversary sale for 2 years in this location, maybe this weekend. And I was thinking about that. If we suddenly get a bunch of subscribers to the channel, you can't double up on the sales. So we'll have to figure out if we're going to delay one or the other or whatever. But I just would love to give you all a sale. So get us to 600 subscribers and we'll have a YouTube only sale.
We could postpone our moving sale for the first or for like the end of the month.
That is this weekend it's not the end of the month, but it's the end weekend of. We'll discuss this off camera. So nothing's official yet, but if you know, and the sale for moving would be for everybody. And this sale for getting 600 subscribers would be just for you guys. So, we'll see. Yeah. All right. So getting back to this, and I'm realizing I didn't have breakfast this morning. So that's another reason I'm a little
out
off.
Of fig Newtons.
That's what she calls breakfast. That was my tummy. Okay, let me I still have glorified fig Newtons in the back. They're Nutri-Grain breakfast bars. I'm gonna take this off to try to show you guys this. This is oh gosh, what's the name of this? It's in here. Hang on. This is a new color of Perth, which by the way is on sale, 15% off until tomorrow. So let's see. This is the Shimmering Pearl by Lisa Hahn. And yeah, it doesn't really show up well against what I'm wearing today. That's okay. But it shows the color change of the yarn. And I'm on Likey needles, which are a little curly cued. But take a look at that. Like really, really soft light pink in this Lake Dierdre. Really, really soft light pink. Really, really soft light green and grays.
Which, oddly enough, are pearl colors. Like shimmering pearl, it's waving through your pearls.
Well, here's the cool thing about this is a 1 skein fingering weight project that I advertised in the newsletter a while ago when I noticed it. And then I'm like, I'm going to try this. And it's going to be a crescent. You can already see the shape of the crescent. It is sections of garter. This first part here is garter. And then there's chevron lace. And I'm just starting a chevron lace section. So that will look stockinette with lace in it. And it's been fun. And it's been really exciting to see what the colors are going to do on this Lake Dierdre. We have a couple of really soft colors of Perth now. And we have some more bright colors of Perth. We are completely out of the rainbow reef. That's from my original Papillon, because that was so popular. And of course, that means, not because of us, I don't think. That would be crazy if it's because of us. But that colorway is back ordered with the company. So we don't know when we'll get the next batch in. I've made one kit with the King's Canyon, which is also a bright rainbow, but slightly different shades. So the kit we have online that's the closest approximation of my original Papillon that looks like a stained glass window is King's Canyon. And we'll see how long that stays in stock, because I think that's back ordered too. It's all kind of crazy. We have brighter colors. We have more neutral colors now. I've put up some new Papillon kits if anyone is interested in making their own Papillon, but would like someone else to do the thinking on the colors. So you can go check it out in our online shop. All right. Let's see. Leading up to one of my bigger projects that I hope to finish soon. I think the last time we filmed, I was still doing the top part of this. This has not been blocked yet. This is the Viking woman shawl. This is my therapy shawl, I've been calling it. I had to do some massive yarn chicken. I lost at yarn chicken at the very end of this, and I had to I think maybe we were talking about
backing out
how I wanted to finish this. So I wanted to show you all that I did finish it. I cannibalized, I sewed in all of my apricot ends and I cannibalized them, and I backed out, and I backed out like 4 rows, and I realized that it was maybe I had to bind off 1 row early, but it was just a purl row, and I had a million ends to weave in because I realized all these what looked like super long tails for this last section. I had like a crash course in just how much yarn is eaten up by these stitches, because all these little tails were getting me maybe 1 row. Like I was trying to hold 1 strand of the yarn that was left together with a strand of tail, and each one was getting me maybe a row. Like I'd have a strip that's like this long and it got me a row. And these rows were really short here at the end. So it was a lesson in patience, and it was a lesson in this may not work. And the designer has even the designer has even contacted me, and she's like, what'd you do to make it all ruffly? And this is such a limp yarn, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's alpaca and cashmere drape. And so it's beautiful drape. But it's not gonna, I can't hold this up and have you see all the points and everything. I have not blocked it yet. But when I laid it out, she's like, what did you do to have that ruffle right here? And that's the yarn. It has this kind of feel to it where there's not a lot of structure to it. So it looks gorgeous if I hold it up like this, but if I just lay it out on the table, it's going to do this puckery funky thing.
How's that go again?
Puckery funky thing. And that might block out, but I haven't blocked it yet because I still have lots of work people coming in and out of my house right now. And I don't really want to have something laying out where it might be in the way. So I'm eventually going to block this. This feels so wonderful. This is the Mayu lace double stranded. And oh my gosh. But this has two skeins of the apricot, however you want to say it, and 1 skein of the Mystery Lake blue. And so that's like $100 shawl for this. So if you want to make like something really wonderful and luxurious, and remember that I added the color work here. It was in the pattern if you want to, but her pattern stops where the snowflake section stops before my color work at that end, and does the part across the top. You will still probably need a 2nd skein of what I use the apricot for, because this top edge, which is done kind of working zigzag back and forth, takes a lot more yarn than you'd think. I want to say I had like half a skein of the apricot left when I started this top part. And I had to yarn chicken. I almost didn't make it. So
on a similar note, if you wanted to buy 2 skeins of fingering weight and not double strand it means you don't get all the nifty fair Eyelet bits, but
well,
it is possible to do. If
you wanted to do like you're saying fingering weight,
yeah,
you can do the fair Eyelet bits. The part you won't get if you do
the marling.
You won't get the marling. You can totally, because that was holding 2 strands of the same color. This part you can do with fingering weight yarn. And if you wanted to do the end part, you could do it with fingering weight yarn. I would just recommend, if you want to, so fingering weight yarn, yes. And so that would bring down the price considerably. But you would do I would do this with color A, and then I would just start with a solid section of color B, and then I would do the polka dot part, like I think you could totally do it. I think I've mentioned multiple times, if you look on Ravelry, you'll see people who did it with a single strand of fingering weight and just decided to do the fun snowflake section for like the whole thing.
And because it's a choose your own adventure, every one of them can be completely different and fun. And yeah.
All right. So top on my list of things to try to finish is my easy Eyelet Yoke cardigan. I was working on this for most of Sit and Stitch, for the Sunday Sit and Stitch for the past 2 Sundays. And then it was in timeout between those. I am doing, this was morning meditation this morning. I'm doing 2 at a time sleeves, which makes it hard to put this on and show y'all where I'm at. Because to have the sleeves oriented in the correct direction, to do them 2 at a time, can you see they're kind of, one looks like it's just hanging out on the side of the sweater, and the other one is kind of like crisscrossed. Not crisscrossed, but it's to have the needles going in the right direction. They're not out like this, they're like this, if that makes sense. So, if I tried to put this on, I would probably pull the sleeves out of one, or I'd have to put it on and go like this and not move.
It's wonky.
It's a little wonky, but look how far I've come. Da, da, da. I will put this down and measure it in a second, but we're kind of running out of time because it's our Monday and we got going a little late. And so I'm very excited.
A good 7 inches.
Well, and I think I'm halfway through, which makes sense if I got 7 inches, that I'm about halfway through. Let's see. Halfway through all the decreases and everything. It's given me almost 8 as I'm measuring it here.
Okay.
So I'm at the point where I'm decreasing 2 stitches every 4 rows. And again, I'm just super happy that I'm hoping by Thursday, if I keep working on this, although, I have a million projects going.
Yeah.
I'm hoping by Thursday I can maybe try it on for y'all. I may not have the center band done, but I'll be so close to being done.
Thursday morning.
What?
It's supposed to be cold.
So I'll want to try it on for y'all. Okay, cool. So that's my last. Oh, and I wanted to show you something fun. I had to run into the shop and get another ball of yarn because during Sunday Sit and Stitch, I ran out of yarn for one of the sleeves, like one ball. And so I came into the shop and randomly grabbed, I had recently rearranged the yarn. I randomly grabbed 2 balls. And I was just like, I don't know if it's the same dye lot. And then I said, I don't know if it matters. So I found I had one of these tags sitting on the table at home. Luckily, I hadn't chucked it yet. And I had randomly grabbed 2 balls of 2 different dye lots, but one of them did match. And then I realized part of how I could tell if it matches is the labels are completely different.
Like one's shiny and one's not.
Yeah. Like the dye lot that I'm using, they're not shiny. And the new dye lot, I ordered a bunch of them. And I don't know if actually when I started,
the old dye lot is the shiny.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. It's a smaller number actually. But I'm going to have to look if I need a last one for this. I want to say I've used 6 or 7 on this because they're 50 grams and not a whole ton of yardage. But I only have to look at the labels now. And I have to hope that if someone else wants to do this yellow, which, it's not everyone's favorite color, we have enough of the same dye lot. Because you can actually tell looking at it that it's different.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you had to make it, you could. Because I might have different dye lots in this piece. In fact, but between the cat licking it and fuzzing it up and the fuzzy quality of this, if there's slightly different colors in it, it's not the end of the world. It's what this yarn is like. So anyway, we need to wrap up. Let's talk about schedule. There might have been something. No, there's nothing else that has enough progress on it to show off. So a reminder that Knit Night tonight is going to be 7 to 9 p.m. 1 hour later start than usual, but that will be our new start time. And we're going to see how it goes. So 7 to 9 p.m. On Zoom with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
And then tomorrow is the VSC, and we have fun new things from Cocoa Knits that we want to talk about that I've promised some people we'll talk about tomorrow. And maybe we'll pick a yarn, or maybe we'll just stick with Cocoa Knits because it's so fun. So that's tomorrow. New things go on sale for 15% off for a week. And then Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzy, and we have one question right now. And if you would like us to answer a question or talk about something related to knit and crochet, you can write us a letter at Dear Becky and Lizzy, sundragonartandfiber.com, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina. What?
sundragonartandfiber.com.
I'm tired and I got distracted by something happening outside. Let me try that again. Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street. I'm also getting a little bit of a headache right behind this eyeball. Come to Knit Night tonight and see how my headache's doing. 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. Or
email liz@sundragonartandfiber.com. I get the .com. She doesn't.
Yeah, I'm my brain's falling apart. Is anyone surprised? No. I'm also thinking about all the emails I need to answer. And, you know, life at a yarn shop is not sitting around and knitting all day, despite what it might look like.
More often than not, this is about the only time I get to knit. So,
oh yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then Friday we have another sit and stitch from 7 to 9 p.m. I have to start practicing saying that on Zoom, again with the shop phone number. She wants to say it. Go ahead.
828-877-3550.
Okay. And our next Sunday afternoon virtual dual platform sit and stitch will be October 17th. So I think that's all we got for you today. If there were other things, we'll try to bring them up tomorrow if we forgot anything, because I'm sure we did, because, you know, eyeball headache. We love you all. We miss you. Stay safe. Please subscribe if you haven't. It's like NPR or like, you know, public television. That's what I'm going for. PBS. It's like, you know, long time listener, first time caller, that type of thing. Please subscribe. Okay. Because then we'll give you a sale. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Oh, you can also support us on Patreon. Subscribing here is free. Patreon is maybe some change out of your life, and we appreciate it. So, okay, bye.